Idaho Youth Ranch Thrift Store teams, welcome to November's Mission Moment Message of the month. Last month, I talked to you guys a little bit about telemental health and what we're doing and why it's so important that we're connecting kids from all over the state to programs and services that are designed to help them cope with trauma. So last month, I talked to you guys about telemental health and why it's so important that we're connecting young people from all over the state with therapies that are designed to help them heal. But I heard a story in this last month that I thought was particularly cool, and I wanted to share it with you. So we have been doing telemental health equine therapy. So the therapist that was telling me about this started by saying, first of all, when they said equine therapy, telemental health, I thought that was never going to work. And then she followed it with, and I quote, "Boy, was I wrong." This young person was having a hard time with anxiety, severe anxiety, and it was getting worse with the pandemic, so much so that she was struggling to even talk to people. And she was going to school, she would get so anxious, she'd actually have panic attacks. It was just this really difficult situation to be in, and it was holding her back from her life. Usually when you have that kind of anxiety, it can escalate very quickly, and she was just having a really hard time. So they started doing equine therapy via telemental health. So if you don't know, in an equine therapy session, there is the therapist, and then there's a specially trained equine specialist as well. So there's two people in every session. So in this case, our therapist, Danielle, served as the client's eyes. So she literally held up a phone and was moving around in the arena and letting the client guide the exercise. And then the equine specialist was leading the horse and going through the exercise. So Danielle asked her client to create a scenario that showed how she feels when she goes to school. So the young lady put a cone, looks like a traffic cone, up in the middle of the arena, and then put a bunch of smaller cones around it. And she said that's how it feels anytime she goes out in the world, that people are just staring at her, waiting for her to mess up, talking about her, and that they see everything in her that she doesn't like about herself. And so she felt very judged and was really having a hard time. The kind of amazing thing that happened, though, was that the horse was in the arena, and the horse walked over and started knocking over all of the cones, and eventually left only the cone that represented her. All of the cones were just knocked over. They weren't in any particular order. They weren't really in a circle anymore. So Danielle asked her, what does that mean to you? What are you thinking right now? And for the client, this young woman said, I think that's actually probably a really good metaphor for my anxiety. That it's all happening inside me, that it's not really real, that those people and those fears that I have, that I'm kind of surrounding myself with, are coming from me. They're not really coming from the outside. So that simple exercise helped this young woman have a significant breakthrough in understanding her anxiety and what's going on with herself. So that now Danielle and our incredible therapeutic team have the tools they need to help her move forward and start to process that anxiety. And in fact, that young woman is getting ready to graduate from her program. She's able to go to school now. Her grades are coming up. She is starting to reconnect with friends. And for her, that moment, that day, via telemental equine therapy, was the thing that was the big turnaround for her. So it's been incredibly powerful. I hope you guys know how important telemental health is to the kids all throughout the state who need access to these proven therapies. So thank you so much for all that you do and continue to do every single day. I look forward to sharing another message with you in December. Take care, be well, and I hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving.